Hi, everyone, and welcome to 24HG Live right here on Facebook and your YouTube channel. We're so excited that you all have paused out of your day to join us to be introduced to one of our new guests today, who you're going to hear from and hear their sample CD song that you'll be hearing off their album. And I can't wait for you guys to hear it because I love the title of it. And we're going to be talking about that in just a moment. And we have some guests all the way from the East Coast, from Columbus, Ohio. And I'm speaking none other than Jones the Barber and the Soul Preacher. How you guys doing?
Doing fine. We're doing fine.
Good. We're doing good.
Oh, wonderful. Now, you guys are not too far from my hometown. I'm originally from Michigan, even though we're in Las Vegas right now. So it's so great to have our neighbors, if you will, right here with us on 24HG. So let me tell you guys, first of all, how did you two come together? Are you, Jones, are you the Soul Preacher's barber, or what's the connection here for our audience so we can understand? Like,
Yes,
are you
yes.
the barber?
I am the Soul Preacher's barber.
Okay.
We did meet the mutual friend, and he came across one of my barber songs, and we just tried something out, and now we're here.
Now, you all have made history on our 24HD. I've never had an artist and their barber on our show here. So you all have just made history today. So congratulations for making history on 24HD. That is so awesome. So are you both also in the industry of music as well, or you're here as a support for the Soul Preacher?
To speak my piece, I'm in the industry now. I'm new. But
Yeah.
this is where I'm at.
All right, I love it.
We're actually a duo. So it's Jones the Barber and the Soul Preacher, even though he's an actual barber. Our song "Walking Like I Talker," he's the rapper, and I'm the soloist. So we
Got
brought
it.
together. Yeah.
Okay, for our listening audience, so they can see that connection and make it. Okay, wonderful. I love it. I still never had a duo of a barber and a artist put together, a duo where you're in dual roles together and blending in the industry the way that you all have come together as a duo. That's awesome. That's an interesting story also. And so I heard you share a little bit of how you all have come together. So all the songs that are on your album, have you guys collectively collaborated on those as well? Together?
Yes,
Wow.
Yes,
And do you guys always gel together, or is there like, do you all agree on everything? Because usually it's hard for someone to agree. You know, I have siblings, I have business partners, I have colleagues, and so many times it's like, okay, I say yellow, they say orange, I say black, they say blue. So how has it been working together?
It's honestly been working awesome. You know, the Soul Preacher is very passionate about his work, and I'm passionate about anything that I do. So when I step in there with him, you know, he may have some little corny input, but we don't argue. We do this. You know, it's funny, but we
it
mesh
works.
great.
It definitely works. I think it's about trust, and knowing the potential of the individual. And for me, God has placed me in a position where I just see potential. I know potential, and I know how to harvest potential. A lot of people, you know, they never get the manifestation of the potential of the individual. They just, you know, try to. And I want him to be the authentic self, his authentic self, not trying to be like no one else. And I think that's what works for us.
Wow, that's such a wonderful message. I can't help but think, I'm like, can I work with my hairstylist? I wonder, like on a project or something. I'm like, I don't know if men sometimes gel better than what, I don't know. We're not going to go down that road. So let me bring my mind, come on back here. I couldn't help but think that as I'm listening to you all. But that is so wonderful. And what a very mature answer and response on how to collectively work together with another person. And I think that combining spirit, like-minded spirit, and you said the key word, having God, when you're in purpose on an assignment, a kingdom assignment that's given by God, then of course greater is he that's in you than any evil or anything that's in the world. So you are able to be combined as one spirit when you come together through God's grace and through his spirit as well. Wow, this is so inspiring. And so tell us a little bit about the song that we're going to be hearing today, that we're going to be hearing from this Walk It Like I Talk It. Set that up for us before we take a listen to that.
Well,
I'm gonna let you.
The Soul Preacher was holding out on the beat, and he sent me the track, and instantly, as soon as I heard it, I, as a new artist, I just felt it, and the lyrics just came, walking like I talk it. Me going through, with my walk in Christ, I just wanted to speak on some things I was going through, and just acknowledge the road, the journey, and we was in the studio, and I'll just say his production, his motivation, this song, it just sparked real quick, and we got a lot of great attention and invitations from this song. But the song is
Wow.
a personal track.
It is a personal testimony, and I think I had to. In fact, I had the track for about almost 3 years, and I sent it to him and another individual, another rapper, and I was just like, if y'all come up with something, this could be great. And he just called me like, yo, Pops, I got it for you. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay. He came through excited and everything else, and God allowed me to put the hook on it and different things, and it just took off. It really took off.
Wow, that is so amazing. Now, before we listen to our song, I always ask our artists this question. So I want each of you to fill in the blanks for me, because we all have those times in our life, we call them touchstones, where God has done something for us, and we know that nobody but him have done that thing. We all have a testimony. We all have a story. And so I want each of you to take a moment before we hear our song, because we like to get to know the artist behind the music and not just listen to the music. And so we want each of you, I'm going to put you on solo layout here, to just finish and fill in the blanks. I will never forget when blank, and just take us on that time of reflection for an experience or a situation where nobody but God did that for you.
Go ahead, no, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you have that.
I remember the time when nobody but God stepped in. As fatherhood is everything for me, and just the journey from making my motions to just working and taking care of the kids. Nobody but God was able to step through, the courts, anybody that communicated me through the juvenile system. Nobody but God directed these people to help me, to finally gain custody of my children, after about 10 years of trying. And, nobody but God was there to assist me and keep me emotionally intelligent and strong. So that's my biggest testimony right now.
Mine is that nobody but God delivered me. I was diagnosed with lupus back in 2000, and I called my father. He's a bishop up in New York, Bishop Hubert Phillips, and I called him crying, like, yo, Dad, they said I got about 20 years to live. They gave me all this medicine I'm supposed to take and everything, and he said it's not unto death. And he just like, you got to pray. And I really wasn't really in church all the way. Let me be real with it. I wasn't real in church all the way. I was, playing, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I began to pray, and he prayed for me, and as well as my apostle at the time, Apostle Maurice Broomfield, prayed over me and prayed for me. And I tell you, I went to a concert at World Harvest, and Shirley Murdoch was worshiping. And she was worshiping, and I felt my body quicken. Yeah, I felt my body quicken. And I turned to my girlfriend at the time, and I told her, and I said, you know what? I just got healed. And the amazing thing was, the doctor a few days later called me and said, Mr. Phillips, we apologize that the blood that we took from you was diagnosed the wrong way, and they said it had to be somebody else's blood. But I knew what God did. I know what God, you know what I'm saying? And so it was nothing but God. I knew what God said, and I know that I had lupus. but God delivered me. And from that day, and even though everything ain't being peachy keen with me and him, we still communicate. You know what I'm saying? I'm still rocking with him, but I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? And so on that day, I told God, I said, I will never chase a dream, but I'll lean into my purpose. And so,
Wow.
and so I'm leaning into my purpose. And so those who I connect with, I tell them, don't chase the dream, because the dream is not to be chased. But when you lean into your purpose, that's when the dream become realized.
Yes.
Woo, my goodness. Wow, what a powerful testimony. Thank you so much for sharing. My goodness. I know somebody that has heard either of your responses to that question are being touched and being blessed by your responses. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. We're going to let our audience take a listen real quick to your music. I think this now is the appropriate time to take a break right here and let our audience hear your debut song, Walk It Like I Talk It. All right, we're going to take a listen right now.
Can't forget the mission, I've been on the mission. My God gave me vision, ain't no competition. Listen, gotta speak it to existence. I'ma be persistent, I'ma go and get it, I believe him. I ain't tripping. I walk it like I talk it. I walk it like I talk it. I walk it like I talk it. Don't just talk, walk it. I walk it like I talk it. I walk it like I talk it. I walk it like I talk it. Don't just talk, walk it. I walk it like I talk it. I walk it like I talk it. I walk it like I talk it. Don't just talk, walk it. I walk it like I talk it. I walk it.
All right. Wow. What a awesome. And we're not going to let everyone hear all of it because we, of course, want them to go out and get it. So let our audience know where they can find you on your social media channels so that they can support you and follow you in your journey and in your music. Can you give out your social media handles?
Yeah, we have the Jones the Barber and the Soul Preacher page on Facebook, and you can catch us individually on Instagram at Wrist Squad. That's spelled WRIST Squad General, and the Soul Preacher.
The Soul Preacher on Instagram. What I got? Facebook.
Amazon. You got everything.
Now I got everything. Instagram, Facebook. What's the other one? Not Snapchat. What's the other one we got? Twitter. Yeah, I'm learning all this stuff, yo.
No worries. You get some grace. No worries.
And actually, they can go and subscribe to our YouTube channel because we do some behind the scenes in the studio stuff as well at Jones the Barber, and I have my own YouTube channel as well, The Soul Preacher. And I sometimes I debut songs that's not even out there right now as well. And we both got individual music that is out there as well. So.
All righty. So any final comments or special shout outs to anyone anywhere in the world? We reach over 150 countries. So if there's any special shout outs to anyone anywhere in the world and your final comments.
Jones the Barber, I just want to say, like the Soul Preacher says, continue to lean into your purpose. Be the best you. Don't let anything stop you. Keep God first and everything will come in line. Everything will.
I just want to shout out, hey, Warren Campbell, holla at your boy, man. I got some hits waiting for you, for sure. But definitely, and Tamla, man, I got a hit for you. Don't sleep on it, brother. The Soul Preacher, holla at me. But I definitely, for real, I got him in the vault. But I just want to say that, as he said, if you keep God first, it goes back to leaning into your purpose. If you lean into your purpose, you don't have to chase a dream. And if you know your purpose, that's the key thing, know your purpose. And I go back to Psalms 23. The Lord is, and whatever the Lord is, whether he's your shepherd, he's your guide, he's the person that's going to divide you from the people, the wheat and the tare. They got to grow together. And he said he'll do the dividing. Sometimes you got to grow up. And because I've been in a many different groups, wrote for many different people, and I've always stayed in the background, believe it or not. And God had to work on me and coming to the forefront. So it's for me, it's interesting in how God is working in this season for both of us.
Amen. Well, thank you both for joining us today as our special guests. And to our audience again, once again, you want to look them up on all their social media handles, Joan the Barber and the Soul Preacher. So thank you for joining us right here on 24HG. You have been a pleasure. And again, you made history right here on our broadcast today. So thank you so much. And for
Thanks
those
for
that
having
are
me.
all righty, if you're just tuning in, you have been listening to Jones the Barber and the Soul Preacher. You want to check them out. I tell you, what an interesting duo. And we have been blessed today. So be sure to support them, check them out, visit their social media handles, and of course, download and purchase their music. Our time is up, family. Thank you so much. Remember, if you have everything but Jesus, you really have nothing at all. Until next time, right here on Facebook Live.